Damn it! I can't. How many times do I have to introduce myself to a stream before I actually get it right? Fuck.
What is your real name?
Oh my god. Hello everybody. Welcome to another live stream with Dr. Zombie and friends. Tonight we are playing more Dungeons & Dragons. We are waiting for Mr. Fantastic to figure out what his password is.
About that, I'm pretty sure I hooked it up to a different email. I used the account that it's saying that like the email is hooked up to is at Hotmail. My actual email is at Outlook. So I just made a new account and
neither of those
sent me the.
Neither of
also, I
those
forgot to
are,
mention, Mr. Fantastic fucked up.
he totally fucked up. Neither of those email addresses you mentioned are useful. Is your other email at aim.com or
I just
don't say
made a
anything
new
like
account
crazy because I'm
right now.
streaming, just so you know.
at GeoCities? What?
At downloadmoran.com.
At fansonly.com.
Fans only. You don't have to be lonely. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in with a different account. So.
Wow.
This is gonna get bad.
It's happening already. I usually don't drink much when I am doing the DMing in front of a live audience because I will fuck up rules, and I prefer to actually be kind of good at this, especially with newer players. So no alcohol for me tonight, just water. Malifoss is here. Dogs Nuts is here. It's Dirty D. He's on a different name, and his different name is Dogs Nuts. So that's... We've got a theme going on.
Like balls? Like dog balls?
DOGGSNUTTS. It's like D's nuts, but for dogs.
I have concerns.
I'm also concerned. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So, when we last left our group, they had gotten into a dick-punching good time at a tavern called the Empty Net. Sorry, not sorry. A tavern known for its wild drunken brawls and lack of police presence, as well as perhaps a few other things. But Kat decided that the best way to introduce herself was to try to intrude on a private game of cards, and when that didn't go well, to punch someone right in the penis. And that resulted in a short but lively brawl. But
time.
Nobody got thrown out of the building. Aurelian ran outside and is currently waiting to see if Kat or Oswald gets thrown into the bay, which has not happened. Because after calming everyone down, the guards let everybody go. With a stern, don't do that again or we'll throw you into the bay. Which is even more unpleasant than it sounds. But let me bring us back to the point where we need Mr. Fantastic to figure out his fucking password.
I just made a new account and joined the group. Pluto gave me the...
Oh, perfect. Good. That's another way you could do it.
That's
good.
Good. Great.
It is fantastic, yes. Like the doll's bollocks, it means he's great. That's true. In England, if someone says the dog's bollocks, first, that means a dog's balls, and second, it means good. It's like the bee's knees, only it's the dog's bollocks.
Do bees have knees? And if so, who looked at them and were like, these knees are great?
I believe they have knees, or what qualifies as a joint between two different segments of leg.
Technically, they don't have the patella, but they do have the joint, so...
I would consider that a knee.
Well...
Okay, well. Or at least an elbow. Moving on. This is D&D, everyone. Yeah, I'm gonna sit here with my arms folded, waiting for Mr. Fantastic.
Well, I mean, we're just waiting. Okay. Well, cheers.
I clicked the launch game just now and it's like still loading. So, oh, there we go.
Yay! No, maybe. Yay! All right. Well, we've got a blank picture. That's because Mr. Fantastic doesn't own a webcam. Okay. Make sure that you've turned off your receive and broadcast voice from Roll20 since we're using Discord.
Yep.
You can do that under the My Settings gear way at the bottom. And then you might have to hit reconnect. Okay. So before we begin, do we have any pressing questions regarding last week's episode or the mechanics of the game or anything that you need to have clarified before we move on?
As a halfling, I have lucky,
Okay.
which I completely forgot about. Are we doing it like the feat, where it's 3 times a day for a Nat 1 reroll, or is it limited per halfling?
I would say it's unlimited.
Okay.
Yeah, when you roll a 1, you get to re-roll because halflings don't roll 1s.
Oh, you special fuck you.
It's very sneaky. Yes, okay. Let's remember that in case you roll a 1 again. Hello, Chop. Welcome. Okay. Anything else?
I don't think I'm good.
All right. Chop's like, I missed last episode. Quick summary. No, we're live.
Quick summary: punching dicks and sinking ships. There you go.
No ships have been sunk. Asterisks.
Dicks have been punched, though.
Okay. We will resume right where we left off, but I will give a little bit of guide rails in the fact that it is like early afternoon. Pluto, you have an engagement with your boss. You must go and meet him sometime in the late afternoon. So you are doing the mental math in your mind and think that you probably have the chance to take these people to maybe 2 more locations in town before you need to head back and either leave them to their own devices or bring them with you. Your boss wasn't clear. That gives you the opportunity to visit 2 places. Now, I'm going to zip everybody over here. You should now see Saltmarsh again. Let me know if you don't. Excellent. Fan-fucking-tastic. So you have a couple options. With a few exceptions of numbers on the map, you could either pick a number at random and say, what's that? Let's go there. Or if Kat, Aurelian, or Oswald have any place in town that they're looking for, kind of like you talked about, finding a place to take a bath, and then finding a place to drink, finding a market, you can ask me for something of that nature, and I can tell you where to go, unless Pluto doesn't know it. It's up to you.
I think my character would want to check a library.
Okay. A library. Something for like local history or just knowledge or magical knowledge or what?
History or like informative books.
Okay.
Nerd.
Anybody with any other ideas?
Oswald, what's your favorite place to go?
I like it here, but I also like sitting out on the dock, watching people work, and getting paid for it. Because I'm typically in the way of people, so I just sit on the side and get paid.
I'm trying to see if there is anything similar to a library here. You may be SOL on this one.
Cerulean, why
Hell,
do you
want
need
to
a
go to a
library?
library? Yeah.
I got all the
Why the fuck do you want to
history
go
you
to a
need.
library?
Wow.
Listen, let me tell you how magical I fucking am, okay?
Historical books notwithstanding. Well,
Could take you to the courthouse.
that is
Town
the
hall.
council hall is one of the options that may have a small library. Other than a few religious texts that would be at the temple you've already been to, the town hall might be the only place, unless you're looking to buy a book, which would be the market. They do not have a library here.
Does the king reside around here or somewhere else?
Oh no, the king lives up in Keoland proper. It is far away.
In north, right? Okay.
Yeah, far to the north. You guys are as far from the king as you could reasonably be while still being in the country.
I'm literally not complaining about that.
That is actually one of the finer reasons to live here, is to be far away from the central government. Up until recently, the Crown had very little interest in Saltmarsh, but as you've been informed, a silver mine started being dug about 2 years ago, and now the kingdom is strengthening its presence here, trying to turn it into a hub of trade and also trying to reinforce this mine.
Are you interested in going there, Aurelian?
The mine? Sure, I'd be willing to check it out.
The mine is a bit of a different situation, as it's not actually in town. It's a couple hours out of town. Now, finding out about it is... There's a couple places here. So, Pluto, you know that there's a mining company headquarters. That would be number 5 on the map, just around the cliff here. Let me ping. Use ping here. This one. Ping. That's where a mansion owned by a local noble family has been rented out to the Crown, or purchased by the Crown, and serves as the Dwarven Mining Company's headquarters. You brought up the town hall, city hall, council hall. Sorry, is here, on the main road past the docks. The silver mine itself is up this road to the what looks like north here, but is actually east. That road past number 25 leads off for a few hours. And in the morning, several carts filled with dwarves and other Crown's Guard and such head that way on the back of wagons. And in the evening, they come back with oars and tired miners.
Are these dwarves free?
They're not like slaves or anything. No, they're
Okay.
Yeah, they're citizens.
They're workers?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just mining deep in tunnels tends to appeal to dwarven folk. Certainly they're not the only people who've ever dug up a nugget from the earth, but they flock to it. They find an unnatural comfort in digging into the stone. But no, they're not indentured servants or anything.
I say fuck it, let's go to the docks, but it's up to you guys.
Well, there's plenty of... Go ahead.
You said that there might be some in the courthouse or the market?
Yeah, there's probably a small library, other than someone's private library in somebody's like mansion. There might be one in the courthouse. There may also be books for sale in the markets. There's areas in 10 and 9 that you guys have already been to. 9 is called the Green Market. Basically anything that doesn't relate to sailing and fishing is sold there. And then 10 is the Shark Fin Bridge, where there are some homes and peddlers and carts and stuff. So if you're looking to purchase a book of some sort, those would be the places to go.
Well, I suppose I would check if everybody else wants to go to the market, check the market, and then...
Hey, I'm all for selling people dick growing juice all day.
That definitely happened.
No objections?
My line of fucking trade is terrible.
Anybody else? Okay. The market is right around the corner. It's a very quick 3-minute walk to get from the empty net to the market. And the Green Market is just a strip of open land near the beach of the bay here, where everything that isn't fish, salt, or nautical wares is sold. Granted, the difference...
Can I move everybody?
Yeah, go ahead. You can. Granted, the selection here is nothing like what you've seen in the capital city. But there are things like goats, eggs, cloth, herbalist marsh plants, pots, occasionally a mule or an ox. You you get a sinking feeling that you're not going to find what you're looking for. But why don't you go ahead and roll me a investigation check?
All right. Investigation would be a skill, right?
Yes, it is.
D20?
Yep.
Goddamn, I should be looking for it.
Wow, nat 20. Yes, after a few moments, you manage to find the one guy with a cart of books. He has that sort of encyclopedia salesman air where he's got like a bunch of similarly bound tomes that contain knowledge on different subjects. What subject are you interested in?
Either naval history or naval
Oh, naval history would be good.
strategy or naval
Okay.
things of that nature.
You have two options, each of which will cost you a shiny silver. There is a book called Bethesda's Naval Battle Strategy, and it's a thin tome that the seller will tell you is about different techniques for boarding an enemy ship and defending your own ship from such. He says it's pretty dry and a little outdated, but it does have a lot of good pointers. And the other one is a history of sea battles in the lower kingdoms, which includes a lot of major battles that have been fought in and around Keoland. The seller tells you it includes a lot of information that has been added in an addendum to the back from a local author who no longer lives, passed away, about conflicts with the Sea Princes. And if you ask, he'll tell you that the Sea Princes are a large local force of smugglers and pirates that have plagued Saltmarsh for years, and that the crown has only recently taken an interest in stamping out.
I would like to buy both.
Okay, 2 silver pieces and you get both of those books.
All right. Let me just subtract the silver pieces. Alright. Oh, I should probably write in my items that I have both of those, right?
Yes. And if you can't remember the title, the full title that I just said, you can simply write Naval Strategy Book and Naval History Book. Okay.
Alright.
So, in just a few moments, Mr. Fantastic is like, found what I was looking for, and he holds up 2 dusty old tomes that have no magical power whatsoever. But he seems pretty pleased with himself.
Look at you, dude. Living life.
Hmm?
Reading books. How fucking boring.
Wish I could read.
You never learned how to read?
I learned a little bit, not much.
Where'd you grow up?
North of here. In that one town. I forget its name. I've been thrown into the water quite a bit.
I can provide you that information if you give me a moment.
Which town I was born in? That's amazing.
It's probably just waiting for me to tell you. North of Saltmarsh, you might be from Burle.
That's it. There we go.
Burle.
Yeah, I'd forget that town too if I were you.
Yeah, Burle's actually, if I can find the info on it, it's a fortified outpost, always on guard for monsters that emerge from the Dreadwood. It's a key stopover point for travelers venturing inland from the southern coastal region. So if you're coming from Saltmarsh, heading in toward mainland Keoland, you travel through Burle. It's a small keep set atop a hill that overlooks the forest and its borders with a few farms around it. It's essentially an outpost that helps keep the Dreadwood monsters inside the Dreadwood.
Also, Kat, do you not want to check the bookplace out? There are any spells or something there?
I have a spell book, thank you.
And there were definitely no spells there. Sorry.
Not in this dusty ass sailor town, okay?
Yeah. You have that. You have that
Listen, okay,
sinking feeling that you
Let
might.
me tell you what I've been doing with the sailors here, okay?
Wow. I'm hoping you're just
Punching them in the
referring
dick.
just referring to dick stuff. It's all dick stuff.
It's literally all this stuff. Listen, sailors are just easy to fucking make them buy things and make them and punch them. Okay.
She has made one of their dicks bigger and punched another one, so pounded another dick. So growing and pounding.
Make them big and pound them.
Yep, that's write that down on motto. This is D&D, everyone. So moving on. Unless anyone else has business in the market, you should go to one more location in town, and then we'll continue with rendezvousing with Gellin Primewater.
What is 15? Just docks?
15. 15, you can see it from here, and you may point along at it from the shore. 15 is a place called the Weekly Market. On the first day of each week, which would be Sunday, and it's currently Wednesday, merchants of all descriptions gather to sell their wares. Initially, it was just established to sell fish, but it now includes a wide variety of goods. Any items from the player's handbook costing up to 150 gold pieces are available for purchase. So when it's the first when it's the first day of the week, Sunday, that is where you want to go to restock up on more difficult to find items. You want weapons, armor, a replacement spell book, possibly even magical potions. They will be at the weekly market.
So it's like empty now.
Right now, yes, it is completely empty. There's a couple like makeshift stalls that are just empty. Like the merchants gather up everything at the end of the day on Monday and take it home. Yeah. There is only one thing there that is still in use during the rest of the week. There's a well. That's kind of what caused the market to spring up there. So, but you don't even have to go there to find out about it. You can simply point it out from where you're standing. Any other?
Long dock?
Huh?
I like to go there, and you see that long dock? I like to go there and throw rocks into the water.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, sailor's life for me.
When I'm not fishing or falling into the back of the
Or
water.
being thrown into the water.
Being thrown into the water.
I
I
like
like
to
to throw things in the water to make me feel better. You'll, of course, recognize that right next to the weekly market is Primewater Mansion. That's where Gellin lives. And where you first were fished ashore from the dock next to his secret smuggling warehouse.
Well, that's the man I'm interested in talking to, so whenever you guys want to go.
Hopefully it doesn't involve his dick.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
I mean, maybe he won't know that, but...
Anyone have a preference on where to go before going to talk to Gellin?
What's right around us? What's like 7 or 11?
Okay. 7. Okay. So you're kind of like, what's down here, and you guys will walk down the road. 7 7 is a large, noble house that has a business-looking sign hanging in front of it. It maybe it used to belong to a noble family, but now it's been turned into some kind of business. And it says, Faithful Quartermasters of Iz, I-U-Z. Pluto, you don't know a ton about what goes on here, but you've heard that this is the only other tiefling in town. A woman named Captain Zendros. You know that she's interested in purchasing large quantities of fish, and she ships them out back to her home nation every month or so. Just tons of salted or fresh fish in crates. And so she's one of the most prominent buyers of catches from the dock. You also know that there are rumors that she can get you magic items.
I'm intrigued. Go on.
Yes, she has a service that you've heard is quite expensive, where you can buy her, basically put her on retainer to keep an eye out for magic items that are coming into or out of Saltmarsh via smuggling or via normal, trade methods, and she'll get a hold of them and look for potential buyers. If you are keeping her on retainer, she will contact you. You can haggle over price, etc. But she's pretty much the only person in Saltmarsh that you know of that regularly comes in contact with magic items. But you've heard that she's expensive, but you get what you pay for. It's about all you know. And this is all being discussed while you're standing outside the building.
She's like creeping on us through her window.
No, no one's looking out the window at you. There's just a little walkway up to the front.
You guys want to go in? Good, let's go.
Okay. All right, let me pull up her information here. Okay. So you go in and you go up to the door and you knock on it, and a few moments later, a burly man wearing armor and a sword at his side opens the door and asks, what business do you have?
I'm looking to speak with Captain Zendros.
Zendros, yep.
Zendros.
Okay. He gives you a nod and opens the door and gestures with a thumb that you can enter. Captain is currently with a client in the other room. If you'll sit here in the waiting area, she'll be with you shortly. You can tell that the owner of the building is fairly wealthy. There are a number of ornate pictures and ornaments decorating this waiting area. Everybody make a knowledge. What is it? Religion. I think it might just be called religion. Apologies as I look this up.
Yeah, it's religion.
Yep, make a religion check. That's a D20 plus intelligence modifier, and if you have religion as a proficient skill plus your proficiency bonus. That's not a great one. -1.
That's fantastic for me.
So the D20 plus your religious skill?
Oh, fuck,
Yep.
mine wasn't better.
Yep.
Okay.
Nothing at all about any of the things in this room means anything to you. My face is incredibly close. I should probably back it up a bit.
We love your beautiful face, though.
It
There's
is
nothing more glorious than your beard.
Incredibly
so.
glorious. It's starting to get gray at the bottom here, too. It's very sexy.
Yeah, you know what?
there we
Nobody
go.
complains about salt and pepper, okay?
Not at all. Okay. Certainly not me. Nope, nothing here is of any interest. There's definitely nothing strange or sanctimonious about any of the items in the hallway. They're just weird looking, probably because of the fact that she's a tiefling from a different continent. Okay. After a moment, you see a tall, bearded man exit the room, sort of keeping to himself, quietly leaves like directly out the building. Not in a huff or a hurry, but he seems to be like he doesn't want anyone to know why he's here, what he's doing. Very
You got fucked by her horn, let me tell you.
yeah, very suspicious. But then a tiefling woman. Let me pull up a picture of her. That's her there.
Ooh. Okay.
Bright red skin and red curly horns. Captain Zendros comes out of the room and gives a large smile to you and says, "Welcome, new faces. What can I do for you?" The silence is deafening.
Can I talk to her in the way that nobody else could hear? Because we both speak the same language,
well,
right? Can I assume she speaks the same language as me?
You can probably make that assumption since your language comes from being a tiefling. And this is demonic, I believe. Let me pull up your...
Infernal?
Infernal. Yes. Infernal. If you wish to speak Infernal, you certainly can. And you can hope that neither Pluto nor Mr. Fantastic nor the guard that is standing nearby understands you. But go on.
I don't give a fuck about the guard. I just want to ask her questions about Gellian Primewater. What does she think about him?
Well, that's an interesting role. Okay. She... Make a diplomacy check.
What?
Sorry. I may be
Might be
crossing
persuasion?
Yeah, let's do persuasion. I'm sorry. I'm crossing my versions of D&D. Make a persuasion check, please.
You are, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta keep your character sheet up so I remember what skills I can fucking ask for. Apologies.
Oh,
persuasion.
fuck, I forget. Is it,
Charisma modifier, if it's not a class skill that you've...
fucking up?
Me too! We're all fucking up. It's fine. I should drink more.
2, right. You can't drink, though. God damn it, I forgot the 1. Wait, is it slash R or R slash?
Slash R.
Goddamn Reddit, fucking me up.
Oops. Okay, a 15. Her smile fades a little bit as she realizes you may not be here for business reasons, but you're asking about Gellian Primewater, and she says, I know the man. He, and this is an infernal, so no one else can hear. So she's I know the man. I don't have any problems with him. He does not. He sells me fish at a reasonable price, and he throws the most wonderful, elaborate parties. It's one of the only places that I can get exquisite food from my home continent, my home country. Why do you ask?
Because I'm interested in their business together.
I mean, all of my business with Gellian is shipping related, with purchasing fish. He doesn't come to me for my magical items trade, if that's what you're asking.
No, I'm interested in the fact that if I could help you with information about Gellian, if you could then in fact help me with magical items.
No, I'm not really interested in Gellen's business. If he had something I was interested in, namely magic items, he would know to come to me. I'm not. I don't think there's anything about what he does in town or what his political stances are that I could care less about. And her demeanor has, over the course of this interrogation, has turned from polite and welcoming to sort of, why are you wasting my time? So you're getting the feeling that maybe you've got a limit on her patience.
That's okay. I feel rude for interrupting your business day, so bye.
Very well. If you happen to come by any magic items on your journey, or you're looking for something to increase your own repertoire, please do not forget the faithful quartermasters of Uz. I am always here, willing to lend a hand for a price. And
We all got our prices.
she bows deeply and then gestures to the door, and then her guard comes up and helps you gently but directly to the exit. Okay. Pluto, you're realizing that the sun is starting to careen down toward the sea, meaning it's time to get back to your boss and find out what his deal is. So, we'll move forward there. Anything else before we head back to Gellen's mansion?
Guys,
Should we accompany Oswald?
I'm really conflicted. I don't know if he told me not to let my eyes off you and keep watch, but I'm supposed to meet him alone. Like, I'm really needing help here.
Flip a coin.
Well,
Here, do you have a coin, Aurelian?
Oh, you're an
a
asshole.
copper coin.
Can I
Here,
use it to flip it?
sure.
Okay, and I flip the coin,
He's gonna fucking pocket it.
Okay, roll.
and I put it in my pocket then. You're going with, guys.
Just look at him like, what the fuck?
You can roll a d2 if you want to flip a coin, odd or even. But if you did it just to pocket the coin, and
Oh, he did it just to pocket his coin. I fucking know him right now.
there goes a copper.
Why do you think I would never pull out a coin near him?
Yep. Okay.
So I
Pluto.
guess I'm subtracting a copper coin from my character sheet.
Yep.
Could ask for it back.
And he's adding it back. I feel like Mr. Fantastic is just going to be like, whatever, it's a copper. Let him have it.
But that's
It is.
I just kinda look at him
stealing
like,
copper from
what?
everywhere, but I guess whatever adds up, you know.
Touche. Pluto, are you taking them in, or are you going to like?
I'm taking them in.
Okay. So you go to the door that you guys left earlier at the side of Gellen's mansion, and you knock 3 times. And after a solid minute, someone slides a tiny little bar that is almost invisible, and looks out and sees Pluto, slides it back across. You hear at least 3 locks unlatch, and then the door opens, and you recognize one of the other sailors who fished you out of the boat earlier, leads you in, and then locks the door behind you. He goes, Lord Primewater is up the stairs and to the right. You follow the directions, and you open the door into what looks like a sort of a business room. There's a desk with a large oak chair, and then a smaller table with a couple chairs around it in the middle of the room. Gellin is sitting at the desk with a stack of papers and a pen and a feather pen and ink. And he has his outfit is clearly he's dressed for some kind of party. He's got this foppish dandy outfit, which doesn't quite fit the character of the man that you saw earlier, asking you questions in his basement. But he gives a overly large grin and smile, and is like, "Ah, yes, Oswald, good, come in. I see you've brought our mysterious friends with you as well. That's good. I'm perfectly fine with that. Why don't you all come in and have a seat? There's some things I'd like to discuss."
All right.
So, as you know, the fishing has been quite rotten this month, and everyone is on edge. In fact, I heard there was a dick-punching brawl over at the Empty Net only a few hours ago. And he casts his gaze down at Kat in a sort of condescending, like, what was that about manner. But, on the other hand, I heard that it may not have had anything to do with something you did. In fact, I've heard that maybe some of you might be looking for a little employment. Now, I sadly cannot afford to bring on too many more sailors. I only have so many boats. And as I mentioned, the fish have not been biting and not been caught in the nets lately. But I do have a little soiree coming up this weekend, and I would like to enlist some services for maintaining a jovial atmosphere, shall we say. When the fishing gets bad, people get sour, and I like to brighten the mood by bringing in some flowers from out of town and some exotic fruits and having a nice big party. Now, I can't invite everyone in the entire village to my party. My humble little manor wouldn't hold enough, but I have secured permission from... Give me a second. From Edda, and also Anders Solmer have agreed to let me use the weekly market. So I'm going to purchase a bunch of decorations and flowers, and I'll bring in fruit. But what I need from you is I need security. As I just mentioned, there's been a lot of dick punching lately, and I need someone to make sure that while the party's going on, punches don't get thrown. And I'd be willing to pay a handsome sum for some well-behaved guards. Does that sound like something you might be interested in?
Absolutely.
I could pay maybe 10 gold apiece for a few hours of your service, simply standing guard in a well-dressed uniform of my choosing, to show the townsfolk that I am here for them, to alleviate their pains. So I'm very excited. Kat, what do you say?
13 gold.
Ha! Okay. Let's do a charisma off.
I can do that.
Roll a d20 plus your charisma modifier. I'll have to see if Mr. Primewater actually has stats in the book. I don't think he does. If he does, it's probably way in the back. I'll just do a quick check. If not, I'll give him the standard for nobles. Yeah, I highly doubt it. Okay, fine. He'll be a standard noble then. And his bonus for charisma is +3. Haha.
Fuck.
That's right, suck it.
Bitch, I got 18. Fuck you.
Well, you certainly outdid him.
Suck it.
So Gillen laughs over. Fine, good help. I hope. 13 for each one of you. Smart eye, and I'll remind you, lady, that knowing me as an employer is worth more than that coin. But you'll have it. I'll give you half before, and I'll give you the larger half when the night is through. And then I'll see you all Friday evening back here for preparation. So you have all day tomorrow to do whatever your heart desires, including, if your heart so desires, punching people in the dick. So hey, I don't judge, but I think that'll do it for me. Pluto, you know the way out. Pluto, sorry. Oswald, you know the way out. Good day.
But,
Yes,
sir.
what?
I didn't get paid for today.
How much did he offer? Probably didn't. Probably didn't tell you. You can pick up your paycheck from Stephen at the exit. He'll be sure to pay you your day's wages for sailing work, plus a little bonus for keeping an eye on these two.
I'll keep a low profile.
Sounds good. Is that a halfling joke?
Yeah.
It wasn't funny.
That was fucking awful. That was
I figured
terrible.
I'd make it before someone else did. Yeah, in life.
It wasn't funny, he says.
You know, a lot of small jokes.
So he goes through a stack of papers with a little bit of a giggle and a grin on his face as you guys make your exit. You do, in fact, Pluto, get paid 2 silver pieces for your day's work, which is actually quite a bit compared to what you used to make. So you're not too unhappy about it. So you can go ahead and add 2 silver to your docket. You do not have any work scheduled for tomorrow, Oswald. So you would not get paid, nor would you be required to come visit Gellin or anything. There's no ship coming in that you need to unload. So you have tomorrow off, essentially. And of course, you've already heard what you're supposed to do Friday. So that leaves us, it's the early hours of the evening. And Haley, I believe you recall that the innkeeper said you should come back to the bar at night.
Yes, sir.
Because you said something like, hey, I'm looking for... you were trying to talk up Gellin, and he said he would try to find out if Gellin had any work for you. However, you don't know if maybe this was the
I
work.
say let's go celebrate the fact that I made you all more fucking money and get a drink, and then I'm gonna go to bed.
Where are you going to bed?
At the end.
Staying at the temple.
I can tell you right now that the Empty Net does not have beds. It is a tavern only. You're probably going to have to get a house or somewhere else. Now, there are a couple places that you could stay at free of charge. Kind of depends on who you work for. Obviously, you can't stay at Gellin's mansion. But there is a place... You might be able to find a place to stay at the Temple of Procon. Or the Owland House. Oswald, this is where you've been staying lately. The Owland family has this sprawling mansion for generations. Despite the family's wealth, the building is a sprawling collection of new construction, expansions, and additions. Each generation the family has added to the building to accommodate the clan's growth. The family takes in fishers who had fallen on hard times, sharing their wealth with others until they can recover. So they offer sort of a soup kitchen type scenario with cots, and that is number 19 up here. Or you could go to one of the inns that actually has beds and pay for a decent room. You'll certainly get a better night's sleep, but the cots at 19 are essentially free. Sometimes they ask you to do chores like sweep up or help cook.
I think I remember reading on the page for like the soldier or whatever, like the soldier background or whatever.
Yes.
You get a badge showing that you're a part of whatever military.
Yes.
Or used to be, and that rank is still signified.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I could go to like a barracks and potentially get
Yeah, you ran away though because you're an asshole.
The
So that probably wouldn't be a good idea.
Oswald, you've spent a night or two in the jail, which is here at number 2. The barracks and jail is number 2 on the way out of town.
Oswald, how was jail?
He's all over the place. Just, you
Kind
know.
of a slut for buildings, huh?
Yeah,
Night number 1.
he says he's only been here for 4 days, but you get the opinion that you could not visit all these places in Saltmarsh in 4 days. But he's definitely woken up after a drunken night of brawling in the jail. You know that the barracks is there. It's a lot about the jail and less about the barracks. But yes, you could probably convince your way in using your badge that you're looking for a place to stay, and you could probably get a spot for the night, maybe even for all 3 of you.
I can get us a spot for the night, guys. I can do this.
Oswald, you also know a place?
I'm not
Yeah,
sleeping
jail.
on the floor.
Like, the weekly market is empty. I don't know what the problem is. Okay. Let's instead go to 8. We'll move forward with the tavern. So let's zip you guys over here. Boop. Okay. The tavern is much busier now. I'm going to go ahead and paste a few extra sailors around here, but suffice it to say, there's about 20 people milling about in the bar tonight. And you guys have come in. As luck would have it, there is a bit of space here at the table down at the bottom. You've moved up. Nope. There you go. You moved yourself, didn't you? I grabbed it at the same time.
Actually, I didn't click it at all.
Nope. Okay, it was just me then. It glitched out for a sec. Okay, and there are a wide assortment of clientele, but all in sort of the rougher feel. So as soon as you open up the door, you hear loud talking, laughter. Actually, probably not much laughter because there's sort of a morose air about it. Everybody who's here is spending their last couple pennies hoping to stretch it into a good luck of fishing in a week or two. There's blood spatter on one of the tables where somebody recently got into a fight and was probably dragged out and floating in the harbor right now. And you could see that Kreb is quite busy filling up tankards, piling fish sandwiches on plates, etc. In short, it's busy.
Oswald, how long have you actually been here?
At maybe a month, maybe more. It's hard to tell when you're blacked out drunk. Occasionally, most of the time.
Also, you fuckers are welcome for the extra gold I got you.
It's only money.
I'm sorry, it says the man who steals fucking copper from the water fish guide.
But I can't help it.
But I don't think Haley would have seen that out of character. But I mean, she would have seen the coin from me. So.
Hey guys, should I invite everyone to Yellen's party?
Is this the type of crowd he wants this party?
I don't know. He said it was a party to raise everyone's spirits.
I mean, I feel like you know him better than we do. I just met the man.
I'm gonna walk.
Well,
over
I'm gonna go punch somebody in the dick over a card game. See you guys.
I'm gonna go over to Deb
Oh God.
and put a gold down because I don't care about money,
Okay.
and pay for everyone's drinks for the rest of the night, or as long as that goes.
Okay. Since the drinks here are tend to be a copper, and a gold is worth 100 copper, you have absolutely no problem covering the tab of pretty much everybody in the tavern for at least their drinks. But let's see. You drop a gold down, and Crab kind of looks at you with a raised eyebrow, and then you tell him what it's for, and he goes, "You want to cover the entire bar's tab until this runs out?"
Yeah.
Okay, you've got it. So Kreb holds a hand to his mouth and he goes, "This old sailor here just paid everybody's tab for the night." And everybody looks up from their kind of sour moods and "Hey!" And they all rush up to the bar holding out empty glasses, and then Kreb is filling them as quickly as he can, mentally going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then someone points at the bottles of rum, and he gets one of those. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hell yeah.
And quickly, the mood in the tavern has gone from crap to joyful. And everyone starts laughing and patting Oswald on the back, and clanking glasses together, etc. So rapidly, you've gained the popular support of the tavern, at least. While that's going on, people are here. I'm going to bring the guy here. He's bringing up a cask ale from the basement. While that's all happening, you overhear a group of sailors at a table going, "I have half a mind to go up to the cliff there and enter that house and find the treasure that's there." And another one goes, "Don't be ridiculous, Lemmy. You're the most yellow sailor I've ever seen. You wouldn't last 5 minutes in the garden." And he, shakes his mug at the other guy. "If this mug wasn't empty, I'd bash you over the head with it. You're the scaredy cat, you old bastard." And they're clearly a little happier now than they were a minute ago. But you get the feeling they were talking about some kind of big score that they're too chicken to go after.
I'm sorry, who overheard this?
All of you. The whole tavern has gotten louder and more excited, and you can all hear this is coming from this table over here, which now...
Well, Aurelian, you're a slut for money. Did you hear that?
Some big score.
Are you going to go over and ask about it?
Go talk to him.
Okay.
Alright. So go ask about it, I guess.
Okay, so you pull up at the empty chair here, and because you are someone who came in with Oswald, the pirates, the sailors actually, all kind of let you sit down without too much fuss, and they raise their glass at you, and their discussion. Because you're new, the discussion quiets down a little bit, but the one sailor goes, "Nobody goes near that building. It's haunted. You wouldn't want, you wouldn't risk the angering the dead for a couple coin." And the other guy goes, "Well, if the fish don't start coming round again, we're all going to be starving. I'd rather take my chances with the ghosts than with an empty belly."
So, grave robbing?
So you say robbing graves? And they all kind of look at you like you just said something dirty. No, talking about the house. And they all kind of hush, like they're speaking ill of the dead, or like someone's gonna hear them and come kill them in the night. That kind of situation. Like they're all very superstitious. Actually, make a insight check, Aurelian, since you're sitting there.
All right. I don't know if there's insight in the skills.
It is wisdom.
Oh. I see perception, medicine. Oh, I see insight. Yeah.
Okay. You get the feeling that none of these guys have ever actually gone to this place that they're talking about, but they all have a genuine fear of it. And you know from your experience that although the military men rarely engage in superstition, sailors almost eat it as a third meal. They have rituals for, improving their luck at sea, for making sure their ships don't sink. And if someone told them that there was a haunted house, you can guarantee they wouldn't go anywhere fucking near the thing. No matter what they're saying now, they would sooner starve than go near it. And the more they talk about it, the more actually, now that, alcohol's entering their belly, the more they seem to not want to talk about it. Like maybe they should never have spoken about it, because now you're driving the conversation toward it and they don't like it. So, go on.
Well, then I just leave the table
Okay.
at that point.
All right, you politely excuse yourself from the table. So the rest of the night, so far, just appears to be rowdy drinking.
Can I tell this guy to fuck off?
Which guy?
This one! Isn't this the one?
Oh, it is him. Yep, you recognize your old buddy here. Although now,
I just want to look at him and... that's it.
Okay, he goes, "Hey, what's your problem?" And then you walk away, and he goes, "Ah." He drinks, and he goes, "Well, at least we could drink." And then he orders another one. You're up to 25, Oswald. Okay, well, he gives you a finger back. Once it's clear you're not going to stay and chat.
I bet he did that, fucker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yell over to the table that I saw Aurelian walk over to. You're a bunch of fucking cowards.
Okay. Make an intimidation roll.
Oh boy.
It's charisma based.
Yeah.
Amazing. You're so threatening.
Well, it doesn't seem to land. They all look over at you and they go, "Hey, it's Oswald! Let's throw him off the sea again!" If
That would be
you're
hilarious. Do it!
if you're so brave, why don't you go to the haunted house? And they all laugh.
You know I don't know where the fuck it is.
Kreb, who's standing right next to you and is pouring the last drops of a bottle of rum into a glass, goes, "They're talking about the old alchemist's place up on the road to the east. The miners drive by it every day on their way to the mine. No one goes up near there, and I suggest you don't either, and you stop asking questions about it. It ain't right to speak ill of the dead." I don't know when Kreb became slightly Irish.
I didn't know anybody in a tavern, I guess.
Must be the alcohol.
I'm gonna ask Kreb what happened at the old alchemist place that it's spoken of the dead.
I'm curious of this conversation after overhearing it.
All right, you're going to need to make a persuasion roll for this one.
Oh boy.
You should let me ask the questions next.
I'll give you advantage because you just bought the entire bar drinks and he wasn't making a ton of money. So you can roll twice and take the better. No charisma, huh?
No charisma.
Better than the -1 intelligence, but
Absolutely. I forget what I'm doing here.
you can just hit the up arrow. It'll
Ah.
retype the same thing you did previously. So if you have trouble typing in /R 1d20 plus something, you can hit the up arrow and then just change the plus at the end. Those are
9.
both bad.
Yikes.
Krebs shakes his head. Not going to talk about it. You won't find anyone here who will talk about it either. Not with those rolls.
Kreb, listen. We know each other. We talked earlier.
Ah, yes. The dick-punching tiefling. I did talk to Mr. Gellen for you, but since you've got a bit of a loose cannon about you, he said that he wanted to give you a little test first. So if you spoke to him, or if you do today or tomorrow, you go ahead and do what he asks, and maybe you'll get your way into his organization. But I recommend you keep a level head about you. Gellen doesn't like people who stray from the path. And he hands you a cup of wine that is not fine or elvish, and points to Oswald. He paid for it.
I bet he did.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm gonna yell to the bar. I'll let anyone throw me into the water if you tell me about this place and why it is haunted.
I'll pay a silver to see it.
Okay. One of the sailors, bruised penis, will turn around here and he'll raise his hand up and go, "I'll tell you everything you want to know. It's haunted. There's ghosts, and if you go in there, you'll be dead. Now give me the halfling. I'm chucking him into the harbor, and I'm taking my 5 silver." And he starts walking over to Oswald.
I'm gonna yell.
I'm gonna punch him in the dick again.
Shit. Okay, Oswald, what are you going to yell? Yelling is quicker.
I was just gonna yell in rage, but she can punch him in the dick. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm punching him in the dick again.
Okay, since this isn't the first time you've punched him in the dick, he's ready for it. So roll initiative.
Meanwhile, I'm just like, oh my god.
Wow.
What is that? I'm sorry.
It's a D20 plus for you 1. It's in that box at the top above your hit points.
Oh, I got an 8.
Oh.
Forgot the +2.
I should probably be rolling as well.
Yeah, if you're going to participate at all in what will become Dick Punching 2 Electric Boogaloo. Okay. Let me go ahead and grab my piece of paper here. Right back to this again. I thought we'd do a different encounter, but if you want to just dick punch all night.
Listen, I really don't like this guy. Okay?
Okay. Oswald, are you rolling for initiative?
Yeah, I got an 8 because I accidentally just forgot to add the +2.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yours was up there. Yep, I see it. Okay. And Cat has a 7. And I should probably roll for the guards as well. Alright. Okay. So Haley, you raise your hand up, make a fist, and aim for the crotch. I'm gonna have to put you there, I think, in order to do it. And immediately the sailor raises his fists up and takes a swing at your face. Alright. He's got a... well, I think a 10 does not hit you, so he just barely misses. You duck right out of the way. Quote of the day, you already punched him in the dick, so roll initiative. At this moment, the two guards in the back go, "Not this again!" and they run up. But they look like they're there to threaten you into stopping. If you continue, they'll probably start either beating you up or carrying you out. And you get the feeling this time your charm is not going to work.
Can I roll intimidation?
On your turn, if you want to turn around and sort of force them to back off. And it is your turn, Aurelian.
Let me check my intimidation. Good.
Who are you intimidating? The guards?
Yeah. One d20.
Yes. Intimidation is charisma mod. Wow. Okay. So are you threatening them with a weapon or just with your fists and steely-eyed stare?
Fists and steely-eyed stare.
Okay, so you kind of puff your chest out, raise your arms up, give them a death stare. You'll see. Well, let's see if that works for them.
He used his military badge.
Yeah, kinda. He's wearing old military armor. It's
Took the pin out and stabbed him in the eye.
It's not the town guard. Actually, let me ask, Mr. Fantastic, do you wear your military clothing or your mercenary clothing, or just try to blend in with the crowd normally?
Normally I'd be wearing the mercenary stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got a bit of armor, or not, well, armory, of course, but you are not... You clearly have worked in some kind of military capacity. Okay, fine. They are going to try to resist that. And this is not necessarily a failure just because it's below yours. Okay. All right. That is your turn. Oswald. Haley went for the deck again.
I'm gonna climb up on the stool next to this guy
Yep.
and rage and try to punch him.
Okay. Roll to hit. That is a d20 plus your strength modifier. I was
Like you're closer to the dick, you should have went for it.
inappropriately adding proficiency bonus last time we did a bar fight, so this time you don't add proficiency bonus. Unless you're a monk.
This is my D&D legacy so far. It's just punching people in the dick in bars. God damn it.
You don't have to go and do that. That's up to you. I merely provide the bar. You're the one who's providing the fight. That is going to hit.
Oh boy.
Roll your damage. That is a d4 plus your strength modifier.
+2 because of rage.
+2 because you're raging, which is not good for his brains.
Oh, I'm just excited in the background. Fuck him up, Oz!
Oh, man. Okay, so you clock him in the side of the face. Haley, Kat, you get a front row seat as this halfling's fist just dislocates this guy's jaw, and he goes tumbling to the ground in a heap. Ka-thunk.
I yell at him and I say, I already fucking knew that.
The guy over here, who's his buddy, was standing up, had pushed his chair away, and he remembers getting clocked in the back of the head by somebody who he thinks might be Aurelian, and when his friend goes down immediately, he pulls his chair back in and sits back down with his cup in his hands.
Right, man.
And the guards they stop unless you look like you're going to escalate this combat. Cat, it's your turn.
Oh no, I'm good. That was fantastic.
Okay.
Great job.
You just slide back into your bar seat and
drink.
grab your wine.
Yep.
So there's a brief moment where the hustle and bustle of the bar turns to almost quiet as a fight breaks out, and then as soon as this guy collapses on the ground and you go back to drinking, everybody goes back to drinking like nothing happened at all. This guy will lay on the floor for a couple minutes.
Yeah, and help me with this.
Oswald, are you continuing to ask if anyone has any real details on the mansion?
Please
Yeah.
tell me we're gonna throw him into the river. The
Yeah, before
ocean.
we-
That's,
Okay.
I help him throw him into the river.
Oswald stands up and is like, anybody else with more information? So, in the back of the bar, this guy over here is sitting alone at the moment. And he looks up and he goes, I've been in that building. I walked in that haunted house. It's filled with the most frightening creatures imaginable. I barely escaped with my life. If you want to know more, come over and sit with me. I won't even throw you into the bay, but I will take that silver.
I'll let you throw him in the bay. And I point down to the guy.
He looks over. He's like, well, "That's Sore Dick Jimmy. I don't want to throw him in the bay. He's got it bad enough. I'm sure."
Listen, his wife's disappointed.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have a wife anymore. He lost her
I bet.
to Large Cock Johnson. So Long John Silver.
Oh fuck.
Okay, so you come around and my name is Silvis. I used to hunt animals that came near the Dreadwood. Not big scary monsters. I was a poacher. I'd take their hides and sell them in town until I got caught doing it and sent off to jail. But one time I was desperate for money, and I'd heard rumors that the haunted house may have had an alchemist's hoard of rare alchemical ingredients, or perhaps even gold, treasure of the like. So I broke in, and the place has been broken into a few times. It's dilapidated and falling apart, but I tell you, it's haunted. I recall getting into the kitchen, and I found a stairwell leading down. When I went to go down the stairs, a horde of rats and a ghost came wailing up at me. I turned and ran. I ain't never going near there again. That's all I know. I'm sorry. I don't think you'll find anyone with more. Anyone I've ever talked to says they'd never been even in the garden of that place. They used to buy me drinks to hear me talk about it, but they've long become bored of my stories. It's nice to see somebody paying for the beer again. And he cheers Oswald with his tankard and takes a big gulping sip, and foam gathers around his beard.
Was it is this a old alchemist's house?
Aye, about a decade ago, a creepy old alchemist used to live in that place and conduct all sorts of awful experiments, I believe, in his basement. Nobody really knows where he went. He just vanished one day. But they say that he was quite rich, was working on some way to turn common metals into gold or some other alchemist nonsense. But I thought maybe if I could find his lair and loot it, I might be able to get a pretty penny and retire. Unfortunately, All I found were some rusty pots and pans.
And where is this house?
It's about an hour up the road to the east. If you follow the miners as they go out in the morning, you'll see it. It's right on the cliffside.
Who wants to go to a spooky house?
Well, given that it was an alchemist, I do have some potential suspicions that it could be some sort of hallucinogenic. That caused him to think of these, or see these things.
I wasn't hallucinating. There were real ghosts coming up out of the bottom. I saw them with my own eyes, and spooky, feared things with glowing yellow eyes and fangs and horrible monsters. Believe me.
What kind of sounds did they make? That's kind of scary.
It was... And he drinks more. I don't care to remember it. It was so frightening. I remember that I came in through the back. There's an old well in the ground behind the building. I broke in through the door, and it led into the kitchen. I don't remember much else because I went down the stairs figuring maybe there would be some wine in the cellar or something I could sell or drink. And then a terrifying apparition came up. No! Don't go, I beg you. It's horrible.
Goddamn.
So is that worth the 5 silver, cat?
I said 1.
Oh, 1 silver? Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. He'll take that silver.
Honestly, the sound effects alone,
He-
I
he-
would have paid the 1 silver for.
He kisses the silver piece and puts it into a empty pouch. You don't even hear it clink in there. Okay. Any other questions?
That's sad.
Well, I think I asked Oswald if he would think we would have enough time to even get there if we even wanted to go there.
Yeah, we could probably do it if we did it tomorrow.
Bruh, he's free on Thursday. Hello?
If he's right, it's only an hour out of town. You could be there and explore the entire place before noon.
I say we all go to bed, and in the morning, we go to the spooky, scary place.
You guys don't want to do this at night?
Do you know what kind of day I've had being shipped in a fucking container of fish?
Your back hurts a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah,
Well-
I've been there.
Do you know how tall I am? Okay?
You're like 7 foot.
I'm like
8 foot.
7 feet tall. And I was in a tiny bucket barrel thing of fish. Okay?
Aren't you like
I'm tired.
5'11"?
I want to go to bed.
7 feet tall.
I'm pretty sure I'm like,
You're 5'11"!
listen, I'm 5'4", okay? I don't know how tall 5'11" is.
That's how tall Dr. Zombie
That's
is.
like 7 feet.
It's like 1,000,000 feet tall.
It's like 1,000,000 feet tall. And I'm like 900 pounds, okay? I want to go to bed.
All
And I
right.
mean, if the place doesn't have any lights, it's going to be pretty difficult to see.
I mean, I don't give a shit because I can see 60 feet in the dark.
Okay.
Well, fine. Let's go to sleep.
Alrighty. Where are you guys spending the night? Are you going to the barracks? Are you going to find an inn? Are you going to sleep on the cots in the poorhouse?
I'm going to the inn. I don't care what everybody else is doing.
Okay. Oswald, you know that there are rooms for rent at the Wicker Goat. let me pull up the Saltmarsh map and move everybody over there. There we are. The Wicker Goat is right here across from the barracks.
Well, if you guys want to go sleep on a dusty floor, that's up to you, but I'm going to go sleep in a bed.
Well, I'm gonna go to the barracks and see if anything can be done there.
Okay. Oswald, where are you going to sleep? Free sailor bed?
The marketplace is kind of tempting, but I think I'm going to go up to the temple.
Okay. Okay, so you go up to the temple, and you're welcome there. They know you. You were there earlier today, of course, and they have a few cots available. It's pretty busy, given the lack of successful fishing, but you don't have any issues. Hey, Kat, we'll go with you first, and then we'll talk with Mr. Fantastic next. So the Wicker Goat has the dubious honor of being the oldest tavern in town. As you open the door, there are a number of dwarven miners and town guard sitting here drinking. It's a much different atmosphere than the place you just left. The place is clean. It's quiet. When you enter, you do get some confused looks because you seem a little out of place, being A, new in town, and B, a tiefling. But the owner, or you assume it's the owner because he's standing behind the bar, a human male raises a hand toward you and says, "Come on in." This is much more what you would expect a tavern and an inn to look like. It clearly caters to a clientele that do not like to end up unconscious or in the harbor.
Yes, my kind of people.
So not for you. But there you are.
I need a room, please.
Ah, yes, we do have sleeping quarters available. Just one room, then?
Yes.
Okay, it'll be 1 silver piece for the night, and it includes breakfast in the morning.
Perfect.
Excellent. So you pay for your room, and you probably go up there and rest immediately because it's late, you're tired, you've had a rough day. But you definitely note the large number of loyalists in the building. Dwarves who are clearly relaxing here from working at the mines, as well as the town guard, military, etc. There are, of course, a few commoners here as well, but you get the opinion that these are the people who are not only loyal to the king and his and the crown, but actually quite happy that he's here, or rather that the attention of Keoland has come down to Saltmarsh. You don't see many sailors in this building. No problem. You go to sleep. Mr. Fantastic. You walk into the barracks, and again, it's early evening, and there are a number of officers, or really militia, meandering about the building, putting a drunk or two into the drunk tank. But you come on in with, you're not handcuffed or being led by a guard or anything like that. So there's a woman at the front desk who greets you. State your business.
Well, I first like show my badge and be like, can I sleep here?
She takes a look at your badge closely. She goes, "Oh, Keoland military. Are you a new recruit or transfer?"
Yeah, I used to work here in the Keoland military.
Retired or mercenary?
Mercenary.
I see. We've got a few extra cots for the night if you want. You shouldn't have any trouble Yeah, go ahead. It's the third room on the right. And you go in there, and there's a number of soldiers resting. Just looks like pretty typical business. You've been in situations where tensions are high. You've been in situations where there's nothing going on. This seems more toward the nothing going on side of things. So yeah, you have no trouble either.
Alright.
Okay.
During that time, I probably would like read the books that I bought.
Okay.
But that's it.
You find both of them to be a little dry. The one about tactics is a little more interesting. Of course, the one about historical naval battles is a real snooze fest. But it does give you a little bit of insight into the Sea Princes. This sort of, not nation, but city-state of pirates and thugs that frequently harass the coast. They also engage in a rather unscrupulous slave trade. And your research for the night indicates that perhaps Saltmarsh has been involved somehow in that. In addition to being frequently raided by the Sea Princes over the last 2 decades. But that's all the only interesting things you find this night. All right, 10:30. Do we want to continue or do we want to wrap up?
That's you, dude.
I'm good to continue.
Okay, we'll go on for a little bit more. It is morning. You all meet up outside of the inn that Kat is staying in, which means Oswald has the longest walk, but no biggie. He shows up there a little bit later. And you're all here together on your day off. Refreshed, rejuvenated.
Let's go fucking see some goats!
Haley had a large breakfast and bath with soap. Unlike the rest of you who had
Oh, we like a good soapy bath, man.
trail rations or fish guts or whatever Oswald eats. All right. Hunting ghosts. Thomas is there.
Fuck, dude.
No.
Oh, I can't wait to find him. One day.
The
One
legend,
day.
the myth.
Legend,
Okay.
the myth, the man of my dream.
4 miles east of Saltmarsh, just inland of the old coast road, stands a haunted house. Until 20 years ago, it had been the residence of an aged alchemist of sinister reputation. Even then, locals avoided the house because of its owner's mysterious activities. Now, 2 decades after the unexplained disappearance of its occupant, the house has taken on an even greater air of evil and mystery. Swoop. All right, quickly. What can you see on this page?
A dick.
A penis. Excellent.
Toad.
Oh, is it really, dude?
Is it a black penis?
It's disappointing.
Wow. It is very...
Yes, it is.
It's dick and balls. Okay, but that's all you see is a black penis surrounded by a big black field of nothingness. Excellent. That's
Yes.
exactly what you need. All right, give me a minute while I transfer...
Doc is so amazing, doing amazing D&D things.
I
with
am
him.
doing so good at this. Everyone watching the stream sees the whole thing, but you guys only see this. So you actually come from...
Fucking cheaters.
I'll put your characters here, but I'll describe the area around the house before you actually get anywhere closer to it. Because you may decide that it's too scary and you'd like to turn back. The
Do I look like a pussy to you?
promise of jewels or
I might be a pussy.
gold or alchemical regents or even
You're very
casks of
confusing.
wine.
You peddling fucking, and then you just throw up. I don't understand you. at all.
Okay,
I
neither
think
is my fault.
I
that's
think you're
the
just
point.
stupid. That's
doesn't
honestly
understand
what it
himself.
is.
Okay.
I don't know. Apparently, I'm a whore for money in this game.
Tell you what, before we continue, let's take a 2 or 3 minute break. I got to refill my water. If anybody needs to use the restroom or anything like
Yep,
that, that'd be a good
that's
time.
a fantastic idea.
All right, we'll be back in a minute.
I am as well.
Oh, I said Bep, not back. But you know what? I'll take it. Same shit.
Eh,
Don't be a fucking pussy about going in the ghost house, dude.
I am a sailor.
You know what?
But I don't get frightened very often because I am a halfling.
Hmm.
Because apparently that's a trait.
Oh,
So, lucky me.
I'm gonna sneak up behind you and be like, "Pooh!"
The first thing I'm probably going to do is peer in through the windows.
So, I wonder who actually owns this house now. Because you guys want to own it? If nobody wants it because it's haunted, it's free for the market.
Hmm.
That's very true.
But Oswald wouldn't be smart enough for that.
I don't know if this is the place for me though. I don't seem to be getting along
Hmm.
very well with many people.
Maybe the alchemist made a bunch of like abominations that we're gonna have to fight when we go in there.
I mean, you said there's ghosts, dude.
Hmm?
Have you ever punched a ghost in the day?
Though if there's a ghost, I think we might be doing stabbing in the dick.
Can you stab a ghost in the dick? If it's a ghost?
I guess it depends on what sort of form the ghost has.
If the ghost has a dick, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Would it be effective? That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's the real thing. So how was your books, you red nerd?
They were okay.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to take the dogs out. I had to get a shot of Jameson.
Yeah, everybody else is
Oh, it's okay.
back
We're
as well.
discussing important things.
Definitely not. Not true.
How dare you fucking
Like-
interrupt?
Like if you can stab ghosts in the dick.
You can attempt to, however, well, you'll see.
You know what? We're not sure how effective it is. Okay, we're just discussing.
It's super effective. Thanks, Mollyfuss. I appreciate the kind words. I've been DMing D&D for...
Miley Cyrus.
Mollyfuss. He's in my chat.
Oh.
I've been DMing D&D for about 18 years now. I started in college. So I've got a lot of experience running games. Some better or worse than others, but it's...
This is the worst one.
Wow, rude. No,
I'm kidding. Dude,
I've done
Doc is
horrible
amazing.
things. I've done horrible things.
I
in
don't know
games.
what the fuck's going on, and I'm trying, so...
My DM advice is, 1, never give your characters an egg. And 2, don't create your own monsters. Just fucking use what's available, and if you need to throw a surprise at them, just make orcs blue. Like, don't try to write up all your own shit, reinvent the wheel. Just take an existing character and say, yeah, this is now a thing with wings. You know, it's fine. Okay. Long John Silverdoe.
Well, I would like to peer in through one of the windows.
Well, let's start first at the exterior. So, the road to the house winds through the rocky coastal terrain, often offering a view of the sea below. Low clouds press upon you. Occasional patches of sunlight appear out over the water. A stiff wind blows in off the waves, carrying the briny stink of churning salt water. As you guys travel, it is 4 miles outside of town, so it does take you about an hour or 2 to walk that way. There are a number of townsfolk coming and going, doing various things. People are carting carts of vegetables into town to sell. You definitely get passed by several trucks, carts of miners who are heading to the mine. Thanks for the donation, Cougar. Sorry, I gotta dance. Love it. Where was I? Thank you, dude. Are you... Okay. If you wish, you can engage them in conversation. Farmers, miners, etc., who are wandering this way and that.
I would like to find the closest one, or the first one I can find, and ask them if they've seen anything go on with this house.
So you find an old woman who's riding on the front of a cart filled with the sweet smell of baked goods. And you ask her if she knows anything about the old house up on the cliff, and she's like, "Oh, don't go near that, dearie. It's a bad omen, very scary. The whole area around the place is dying. It's filled with decay of the damned." Ooh, spooky. I think I broke Haley.
I just love Doc's sound effects with everything. It's beautiful.
Well, I kind of end up repressing if she's seen anything personally.
While he does that, I'm sneaking a cookie out the back.
Okay, do you make a stealth check? Or actually, sleight of hand might be better, and you actually have that as a class skill, so add +3 to your d20.
Fuck.
Oh, you're in trouble. Hold on.
God.
Actually, I don't even need a roller. Passive
I just want
perception.
a cookie!
Excuse me, Missy. You need to pay for those. That's a copper piece for a dozen.
I was just gonna leave the copper back here.
Well, then go ahead and do that. The old lady sees through your common ruse. Drop a copper and you take a dozen cookies. They're chocolate chip.
Hell yeah, I got cookies. That's all that matters. I don't care.
It turns out purchasing things is much easier than stealing them. Fun fact.
You know.
As you guys continue up the road, and occasionally engaging with people, a small crowd of villagers begins to follow you out of sort of a morbid curiosity, and you hear whispers of, "Are they going to the old alchemist's place? Oh, that's haunted. They'll die for sure. Oh, they'll turn back for sure. They're far too cowardly." But as the decrepit house comes into view, the townsfolk and their chatter turn silent, and they turn around and head back towards Saltmarsh, as if they cannot even bear to look upon the old place. The decrepit house sits on the highest ground in the area. Around it, a stone wall has crumbled in many places, exposing the interior grounds. An ornate metal gate lies open at the end of the road, swaying slightly in the wind. Wild flora grows throughout the inner yard, but all the years cannot hide the evidence of a well-tended garden that once sat here. Near the house, the rotted wooden roof of a water well rises out of the tall grass. You think that the house is about 35 feet tall from the ground level to the roof peak. The roof is gabled and has several large holes where slate shingles are missing. It's an old, shitty house.
Is there holes in the siding anyway?
The wall... So there's a stone wall that surrounds the entire place, sort of like a barricade. But it's fallen in a few places. But the house itself appears to be standing. There are several windows, some of which are broken, some of which are simply covered with the dust and cobwebs of many years. And then there's two doors, one in the front where you guys are currently placed on the map, and then one around back where the poacher you talked to said that he broke in near the well. But the walls themselves appear to be standing.
Well, I would like to peer into one of the windows now.
Okay.
Would I roll like a perception check or something?
Let me just look forward a bit. Okay, which window do you want to peer in? You can either ping it or move your character over to it, doesn't matter.
I'm guessing the windows are like
They're these little like gray lines with brown. You can see the doors. They're more of a brown line with yellow dots in the middle.
They
I would
literally
like
look like
to-
windows.
They literally look like windows and doors. Yes.
Well, it's a little bit difficult to say if it was a door
Thanks for
or.
following Doc!
Thanks for donating $25 to the beer fund,
Never
Soup.
mind! Thanks for donating money to Doc! I just saw him dancing.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
How do
That's a
I?
good money.
How do I ping?
Malifa says, show a pic of the house, Doc. I don't actually have, like, an outside picture. Maybe I can pull one up on the internet. Sorry, what were you trying to say, Mr. Fitness?
How do I ping?
If you have the selected move arrow icon selected, up that very top part of your left-hand bar, if you click and hold somewhere, it'll ping a little circle. There you go.
Oh,
Mine's pink.
Yep,
yeah. I would like to check
the white one there.
this window.
I like how we're all fucking around with it now.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can find a picture. Actually, I think I do have one in the actual fucking... Yeah, okay. It's at the beginning of the chapter,
Put
dumbass.
it in D&D. Discord.
Hold on. Give me a sec. Well, okay. Yeah, sure. Nope, I didn't spell anything. It's fine. I will give you a picture, and I will link it to the Discord. It may be a link, but that's fine. But somebody said they want to see it on the stream as well. So I will put it in front. That's what the house looks like.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's right up against the cliff. It's old, decrepit. The windows are all boarded up and spoopy. Nice. Okay.
He's fuck.
So I'd probably have to like hack down one of the windows.
Spoopy
If
AF.
it's boarded.
Why don't you said make a perception check. Why don't you roll 1d20 plus your perception modifier and see if you can see through some of the cracks in the boards or not.
Not at all.
Not at all. The small areas where you do find window pane are just so covered in grime and cobwebs that you can't see even your own reflection. You begin to wonder if they ever were glass at all. Or if they fashioned them out of the soil of the earth. Yeah, no, unfortunately you can't see shit in there.
Could I hack the like boards off of the window?
You can do anything. This is Dungeons and Dragons.
Alright.
Go for it. Roll a just roll the damage for your weapon because you're not gonna have any trouble hitting it. So full damage for your weapon.
That doesn't look like water.
No, this is Jameson. I got one of those mini bottles, so I put it in my
Oh, it's the baby!
the little baby bottle.
It's the baby. Yeah, you would stick that in your mouth.
That's how I roll. Wow.
I rolled 1d8.
Yes, and you did 4 points, which unfortunately, the wood is probably old and rotten as well. So you do manage to. What are you using for a weapon?
I was thinking I was going to want to use the hand axe, but I saw the longsword did more damage.
Yeah, but the hand axe makes a lot more sense as far as chopping into it. So if you hit it with the longsword, you splinter the wood a little bit. You don't make much progress. But if you switch over to the axe, a couple of chops later, you break the window. You pull off one of the boards. You can see inside a lot better. And I will tell you, looking into the room, it looks like this is an old living area. You could see like old dust-covered sections of the room where furniture may have been at one point. And the only thing left of note in the room is a fireplace. Oh, why don't I do this? Hold on. Give me a second. Where's the fucking thing I need? Here it is. You get maybe this much here. Actually, fuck it. You can see the whole room. It's not terrible. Except for maybe the corner. The only thing that you can see from here that's of any note is there's an old fireplace there and a ring of red mushrooms growing in front of it.
Is there any wood inside of the fireplace?
You don't think so, but you'd have to get in the room. You're really stretching the limits of your vision at this point. Yeah, there's like a semicircle of red mushrooms growing in front of this fireplace. Otherwise,
presumably
the
the wood that I hacked off of the window could be used in the fireplace, right?
Yeah, you think it would burn.
Alright. Well, I'll go up to Cat
What does it look
and
like?
Oswald. It looks like there's like a fireplace and it's just like a normal living area.
You call mushrooms around the fireplace normal?
Well,
You didn't
of
look.
course, with
Fireplace.
decay, you would expect decay.
Okay.
Mr. Fantastic, do you have a strength modifier?
Yeah, I actually have acrobatics Or no,
Yeah,
it was
like
athletics.
just like a basic strength modifier.
Yes,
So
3.
you would add that to your damage roll.
Oh,
Yes, that would have been more than a 4. It would have been 4 plus your strength modifier, plus your proficiency bonus.
efficiency.
Yeah, because you are
God, you should
proficient.
have been way more sweaty.
Yeah.
Where were you?
Yeah, that 4 would actually wind up being more like an 8.
Yeah, it would proficiency bonus would have been +2, and then it would have been +3. So it would have
Yeah,
been,
so it would have
So
been.
how big of a hole did he make?
He was specifically trying to look in, so he hit the window, shattered it, broke off 1 or 2 of the boards. So you're skinny enough, Haley, that you could probably wiggle through it. However, and the DM will note, there is a fucking door. But you know, it's about the size of your computer monitor. How about that?
I mean, I wasn't concerned about walking through the fucking door.
Gotcha.
That's where I would go.
well, I just wanted to see inside.
I was just curious.
Well, he doesn't see any ghosts, so
Yeah, well, he's blind. Kick down the door.
okay. You can try to kick down the door, or you could attempt to open it via the knob. It's up to you. If you're kicking it down, I need a strength check.
I will attempt to open.
Okay. The door opens easily. It's been broken into many times over the past, 20 years. And with a loud groaning creak, it opens up into the main hall, where I can show you this much. There we go. Okay. The front door opens into a musty, dirty entrance hall. To your left, a corridor leads to the west wing of the house. The walls are bare and bits of smashed furniture lie upon the floor. Ahead of you, another corridor leads toward the rear of the house. A staircase on the eastern wall climbs to the next story, reaching it at a balcony that overlooks the entrance hall, along its north and west sides. The stairs appear safe to climb, though the balcony rail is broken in several places. Under the stairs at the north end of the hall, a third corridor leads to the east. And I will select and move Cat inside. Oswald, are you going in as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in.
Yeah, come
Aurelian,
on,
are you
let's
coming
I'll
in?
follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's inside now. Okay.
I'm gonna look to see if we left any footprints.
Okay, you're looking in at the dust below you. Make a investigation check. Or a wisdom survival check, whichever you prefer. Survival is often used for tracking footprints, and investigation for uncovering things. So whichever one you're better at, Pluto. Investigations, intelligence. Survival is wisdom.
It
Good
is
night.
going to be survival.
Good night, Cougar. Take care. Survival.
Night, Cougar.
I gotta go to bed soon too. Dr. Wifey gets
Not
mad.
a good roll.
I gotta find Thomas.
Okay, anyone else looking down at the tracks you're leaving behind in the dust and dirt?
I think I would search for potential hidden things.
Okay.
I just don't give a shit.
Okay, Kat doesn't give a shit. She's looking around like this is bust so far.
This is disgusting.
Yep. This is a rotten, old, dingy home filled with moss and mold. In fact, I can probably read you the entirety of the house interior section. Oh, wait, no, this is not specifically for you. Kat, it is dilapidated. It's damp. There's patches of black, harmless mold everywhere. The woodwork is rotten. Cobwebs and dust are thick. Rubbish is scattered
I smell a dead
everywhere.
rat.
Plaster
Maybe
is
smell a dead rat.
plaster is falling from the walls and ceiling. It lies strewn across the floor. There are shattered remains of vandalized furniture everywhere. Yeah, it's exactly. You probably do find the skeleton of some dead rat curled up in a corner as well. Gross. Mr. Fantastic, you don't find anything of interest either. Okay. Let's do one more room, and then we'll call it a night. So, Kat, since everyone else is looking around in the dust and dirt and finding jack squat,
Everyone's a follower as fuck. I'm going over here.
there are 3 directions you could go, and you've chosen one. So I'm going to go ahead and... Actually, 4 directions, apologies. And reveal this. So, standing here, you can see all the way down the hallway. There are 2 doors. One here and one here. Both of which look like they're slightly open. But you see, again, a room at the end of the hallway here that you can't quite see around yet. Would you like to
Both
investigate?
doors are slightly open?
Yeah. It looks like, they're internal doors. Maybe the last people who came into
Yes,
this
I'm going
place
to peek
left
into them.
open. Okay. Let's peek into this one, and we'll end it after that. After you've, explored it thoroughly. First one, I'm going to go ahead and move you inside, unless you have an objection to that. This room was once a library. Good news, Mr. Fantastic! With bookshelves around the walls. Most of the shelves are broken, and in many places they have come away from the wall. The few shelves still intact are empty, but a pile of books rests in the southwest corner.
What are they?
You're running over to investigate the books. There are 14 books, all in a heap of untidily thrown in the corner, covered with cobwebs, vermin droppings, and harmless mold. All of them are partially ruined, but they are still legible. Most of the books are dull, histories, collections of romantic poems, and so forth. But 3 appear to be noteworthy. The 3 books bear clear titles on their spines. The first one is The Magical Properties of Gemstones by the Archmage Tensor. Haley, Kat would know that this is a very famous mage, someone who has created his own spells that you studied in wizard school. The Magical Properties of Herbs and Flowers by the Archmage Tensor. And The Metaphysics of Mathematics by the mage Nistel. You think that these 3 books might actually be valuable.
Oh, never mind now.
Oswald and Aurelian, have you been following Haley?
I feel like by the point
I'm gonna
that
take
she
one of the shitty
gets
books and
there,
throw it at
I
Aurelian.
probably-
And say, here, book.
Aurelian, you catch a book. The History of the Southern Isles. It's a little stinky,
Bit dry.
but it's free, so,
I just flipped through some of the pages to see, just get a general idea of what it might be about.
A couple of them are stuck together because of mold and mildew. But
Oh, is that what it is?
yeah, that's what it is. Not look. No one's masturbating to this book. It is boring.
I don't know. Have you seen the sailors I sold dick juice to?
It looks like it's mostly about the changing reign of certain kings and dukes in a nation called the Southern Isles. You haven't really heard of it.
No, I just discard it mostly.
Okay.
It's just about like this guy was a king, and
Yeah. It's kind of a crummy book. Haley informs you that there are exactly 11, and there have been no more than 11, only 11 books stacked in this corner. Never mind.
Only 11, dude. Let me tell you how many times I counted, and it's only 11.
Haley, make a investigation check. This would have happened before your friends came in and you tossed a book at them. Mm-hmm. You get a +5 on this roll.
I sure do.
12. Inside that third book, The Metaphysics of Mathematics, there's a piece of parchment that doesn't fit right. It's not part of the book. It's like somebody stuffed it in there. You don't have time to read it before your friends come in the room, but you do pull it out and pocket it.
Stuff that one in my bra for later.
Yep. Okay. That's where we're going to end it for the night. Now, Kat, because I'm sure at some point you will have the opportunity to investigate that piece of paper in private while the boys are looking at something else, I will tell you that it is a piece of parchment that looks like it's been torn from a larger sheet. It contains a few lines of handwritten common, but it's been spoiled by dampness. Only 2 words are legible. Beyond skeletons. And that's where we'll leave it for tonight.
All right.
Anyone have anything to say before we log off for the evening?
Yeah, what the fuck just happened?
You're in a spooky house. The adventure is progressing. It's good.
Ooh, the ghost, I can't wait.
Look, it's got a map. Obviously, this is important.
Look at all... Okay, everybody, let's just sit here and everybody just... Doc,
Thank you.
look at all of Doc's doing.
Thank you very much. I found this on the internet.
He found it on the internet and put no effort in.
Oh God, no! I put a lot of effort in. It is.
He put a lot of effort in.
It is in the book. However, this is a much more colorful and accurate version of the house. So I'm glad I found it, and it works great. I'm super excited to prepare for next time. Now, will we be doing this next week, or do we need a week off?
I have an exam,
Okay.
but I should be home for 9 o'clock.
Okay. Why don't we take it by ear then? I'll ping you guys next Wednesday. If we can get all 4 of you, or 3 of us, together, then we'll do D&D. If not, I'll take a break and maybe do some RimWorld or some other game that I haven't played in a while.
All right.
Or maybe Haley and I will team up and do some Dead by Daylight or Phasmophobia or something crazy like that. Some sort of crazy game that no one knows about.
Or, rimming women's wombs.
Rimming women's
We haven't done that in a
rooms.
while.
Wait, what? Oh!
Well, not ruin life.
Wrecking a woman's room.
Ruining.
Ruining.
Wrecking.
I heard
somebody had
rimming.
quadruplets, and let's talk about it, but let's not at the same time.
I heard rimming. I'm guessing it's just what I wanted to hear.
You wanted to hear about rimming?
No, let's stop this before it becomes a meme. Okay, so yes, everyone in chat who's been watching, thank you so much for watching and participating. I'm sorry that I have not been paying attention to chat, but D&D is like a whole different beast. I gotta focus all my attentions at these guys, which is why it is interesting, but does not make for great communicating.
Yeah.
But next Wednesday, the 10th, is our planned D&D date. If it doesn't happen, it'll be the week after that or whatever. Wednesday nights are good for us. So, okay. Well, thanks everybody for joining and having a good time and punching pirates in the penis. I'll see you guys next time. Good night.
Oh, you know my skills.
Night.
Thank you, Doc, for hosting and being the beautiful man you are.
No problem. Happy to be part of it.
I'm gonna go find Thomas now.
Go find him. Punch him in the dick.
Oh,